This content is for educational purposes only and is not intended for medical advice. Let's go. So it's time for my introductory call with Liquid Lounge. So I'm excited about how this is going to go, and let's just see what comes of it. I think it's going to be good. Hello.
Hi, Tangela. It's Janine from Liquid Lounge. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. How are you, Janine?
I'm doing well. So I hear you're interested in peptides. So I just wanted to learn a little bit more about why you're interested in peptides and what your goals are, and do you understand what peptides are? Because a lot of times I'm finding out that a lot of people don't really understand peptides or how they work and how they can really help at the cellular level for healing, repair, mitochondrial support, weight loss support. So, in the realm of peptides, I didn't know what your experience was or what you know about peptides.
Well, I know a little bit, but I'm always open to learning, right? If I understand that it's some level of amino acids and that sort of thing that target different areas, and that our bodies create these things, and that depending on which peptide you choose, will target specific areas, or you could even stack and it'll target multiple areas, right?
That is correct.
Yeah, and so I've worked in pharma a little bit, so I have that piece of it. But just in my own spare time, I'm always interested in the what's coming along in healthcare and different alternatives to take care of different things that we need in our bodies, from stem cells to the whole nine. I'm a fan of all of it. So that's why I've got you on the phone.
Yes. So peptides are small chains of amino acids, and they are specific messages. So what happens over time, our bodies, like we have the hardware, Tangela, but a lot of times our cells have lost the signals, right? So our body knows what to do. It just kind of lost the signal along the way, just from chronic infections, toxins, high processed foods with seed oils. So our body takes a lot of stress on just from environmental stressors. So what peptides, which they're like little text messages, very specific targeting. Whereas like if you inject yourself something from big pharma, it literally goes in and hijacks your body. It doesn't always send the right message, and a lot of times it's just fixing a symptom rather than hitting on the root cause. So I'm learning peptides with their very specific targeting messages. Once you inject them, and a lot of these peptides, you'll hear about oral peptides, sub-Q peptides. So the oral bioavailability for these peptides is very, very small, probably less than 10%. Whereas peptides that you inject subcutaneously are 99% bioavailable. So there's a lot of, thoughts on nasal sprays and stuff like that working, and some of them do help for brain health, and neurotropic peptides might help a little bit better with nasal. But going forward, Liquid Lounge and what I'm learning as I go to different conferences and stuff is that really sub-Q is the best way to hit on these peptides to work more efficiently. So once you inject yourself with a sub-Q peptide, it's like little messages they're like little keys. We have 37 trillion cells in our body, all with receptors. So once you inject with a specific peptide, it literally is a little key. And then once that receptor recognizes that little key, they lock in, and boom, your body, now your body's getting the message, the cells are getting the proper messaging, and then they're like, oh, that's right, I know what to do. So then your body starts working at the cellular level to help, get right to the target, specific, any goal that you're looking to improve. So we have the mitochondrial peptides, weight loss, brain health, repair, recovery. I mean, as I go along, I can keep going on and on. But peptides, a lot of people think it's a new on the arena, which is not true exactly. Peptides have been around for a very long time. They've just been suppressed heavily in social media. I think also just because they actually do work.
Okay.
So getting back to you, Tangela, I don't know what you're looking to do or what your goals are, but I'm hoping I can help you get to that point.
Sure.
So,
Well,
what's going on with you, Tangela?
well, there's a few things that I know that I want to do. I know that the first thing is, now that I'm a woman of a certain age, and trying to do my best to keep the weight intact. Just a lot of stubborn areas, the stubborn belly fat, just the subcutaneous fat that I can't seem to get rid of. So I kind of just need to jumpstart that. I've tried a lot of different things. The one thing that I haven't tried is the GLP peptide. I'm not ready to go that far yet. But what was interesting to me was the AOD 9604. That was one, and then of course the maybe I don't know later the I think it's GHK copper, because what was interesting to me was also the inflammation and that sort of thing. I actually am a cancer survivor, and one of the things that pretty much came about after that process is lymphedema of my legs. Now, it's not out of, really anything bad. There's just some intermittent swelling that happens. I'm not sure if I'm really ready to buy into that diagnosis yet.
Yeah.
I'm just not ready yet, because some days I'm great and some days, it's just, a little bit of puffy there. But I'm really shooting for overall wellness. And I'm looking at a lot of the different peptides there, but I think right off the break, the AOD 9604, if you could tell me more about that, I'm very interested.
Absolutely. So AOD 9604 is great for fat. It really only targets one receptor, Tangela. So it's a fat buster. It's a synthetic. It's a little fragment of the growth hormone. So what they actually did was they got the growth hormone and they cut it down into a smaller molecule that targets fat cells explicitly. So it'll help lipolysis, which will break down the fat, and also it helps preventing from new fat cells developing. However, that being said, the weight loss is very slow with this. It's going to be it's usually AOD 960 is usually not a standalone peptide. It's usually given synergistically with a GLP-1 actually. Or if somebody's having like stubborn like fat loss with a GLP and you're plateauing, they'll add AOD, which actually also stands for anti-obesity drug. 9604 also stands for so it was originally developed to help obese clients, but there's been studies done in 2024 where they did these clinical trials where they used AOD alone for weight loss, and there was no significant change at all. So it will target the visceral fat, which is very, very harmful for us, because when you have visceral fat, which is that belly fat, because you have subcutaneous fat, then you have the organs, then you have this visceral fat. That's almost like an endocrine organ on its own that shoots out pro-inflammatory signals. So AOD, so there's a testosterone that's actually is more stronger for visceral fat, and that's stubborn belly fat. And usually what I would do is I would almost pair that with retatrutide, which is a triple agonist. So it's not even just for weight loss, retatrutide. It's a whole metabolic reboot at the cellular level.
Oh.
It makes you so metabolically healthy that not even pathogens can grow.
Wow.
So AOD is great, but that would probably, I wouldn't even steer you towards that direction.
Okay.
Unless, even though AOD has shown promise, because it does help develop chondrocytes, which helps build cartilage. So it has like a great effect with that, the AOD 9604. So it can target fat cells, right? It can destroy the fat cells, but it only really targets that one for weight loss, So the weight loss is going to be slow, okay? But it does upregulate chondrocyte proliferation, which can help actually build new cartilage. So if you're having any issues,
Yes.
and I don't know if you
Yes. I am bone to bone on both my knees.
Oh.
And I have degenerative
AOD.
and I have degenerative disc disease in my spine, in my sacral, and some of my lower lumbar joints.
Wow. All right. So, because it does help your body, helps joint pain. It does help regenerate cartilage. And of course, we've been told different that you cannot regrow cartilage, but there's some studies have shown with the AOD 9604, it has shown studies to grow back cartilage for joint health. It can actually help prevent like knee replacements, hip replacements.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So it does hit on your fat burning and your visceral fat, but not as heavily as testosterone would. But then going back to help building cartilage, because it can repair tissue, it can rebuild the cartilage, because it does help make more chondrocytes that are needed to build this new cartilage, So that being said, that AOD would probably help you with the cartilage repair and help rebuild that.
If I have a choice out of the weight loss and the cartilage repair, I'm taking the cartilage repair, because that knee is keeping me from wearing my heels. That knee is keeping me from dancing. And I've been a pain management patient for almost 15 years because of the spinal issue. So, yeah, I think, yes.
All right. Because it's showing great studies for that, Tangela, the AOD. So for the repair of the cartilage. So that being said, it will help target your what you're saying, that stubborn belly fat. It won't be as fast as another peptide would be for that, but as far as your goal, especially now being more on the cartilage repair, getting you back to your heels, getting you back to, being your Tangela self,
Yes.
Then I think this would be a great place for you to start. So,
okay.
Is there, because I'm thinking myself, are you looking to lose weight too, you said?
I am. I'd like to lose a few pounds, but I mean, I would like that, and I would like for my viewers to watch me go through that process, and yes, that's something that's going to be visible, right? It's not really visible with.
No, this one wouldn't be visible.
Right, with me getting my cartilage repaired. I want my viewers, my followers to see this whole journey. So, whatever you recommend, you're the expert.
I'll put you on the retatrutide too.
Okay, and what is it called?
It's not, because everybody thinks it's just for weight loss. It's not, Tangela. So that's just one of its side hustles.
Okay.
Seriously, retatrutide can even help reverse fatty liver. It can fix metabolic dysfunction for energy. So it's a triple agonist. So it's a GLP, it's a GIP, and it's a glucagon agonist. So what that does is that forces your liver to start burning fat as fuel instead of storing it.
Wow.
And the energy that you can get from the retatrutide, you'll be amazed. I have people emailing me, texting me, they're back out playing golf again. The overwhelm rejuvenation that retatrutide can bring you just helps increase your metabolism, helps insulin resistance. So insulin resistance is why a lot of people that are either menopause or menopausal women, that's what makes you not be able to lose your weight, is this insulin resistance. So
well, I've been in surgical menopause for 8 years.
Oh yeah, girl. I think the retatrutide would be a more visible to some results. That would be a great journey for your viewers to follow you on. It's just your overall wellness, health. It even helps prevent cancer, Tangela.
Oh, girl. Girl.
Yeah. Yup.
And I have PCOS, so it's just a whole mess in here.
Oh my God! So that's for that too. So we could not even just hit on one pathway for you. We got the cartilage repair, we got the metabolic reboot repair, energy, and any stubborn little weight loss, because this will help reverse insulin resistance, and it makes you more. Once you become more insulin sensitive, you'll see the weight will start dropping.
Oh,
and that's just one of the great things it does. So it will make you, it'll decrease your appetite. And that's why AOD isn't the strongest one for weight loss, because it doesn't decrease your appetite, So if you want to have some weight loss, obviously you got to create a calorie deficit, right?
Which I'm in.
Yes. So and the retatrutide will help with that as well. Whereas the AOD doesn't decrease your appetite to help you really to lose weight, but it definitely helps you kill those fat busting cells and prevent new fat cells from coming back,
Okay, and I eat it like in bits and pieces because I also have the gastric sleeve. I've been having that for a while. But I wasn't a lot of times eating the right things. But even when I was trying to eat the right things, it's like the weight loss journey losing it was just slow. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And I guess it's all the other stuff that's going on, why it just wasn't working as well as I'd like.
Well, that's what happens, Tangela. So just from our environment, we already have the hardware there. Your body, it just isn't getting the signals anymore, So that's what the peptides do. They literally go in, they lock into the receptor, and then your body's literally turned back on again for that pathway or for that direction for what you need to get working. Because when you're insulin resistant, your body keeps producing more and more sugar, right? And then you're producing more and more insulin to help bring down that sugar. But if you're insulin deaf, which half of us are, your body's not getting that, and your body just keeps producing more and more sugar and then more and more fat storage. So you have to reverse that insulin resistance in order for your cells to get the message, once you become more insulin sensitive, that sugar that was in your bloodstream is forced into the cells, okay? Into your cells to start burning it as energy, okay? Mm-hmm. And start burning fat faster. So that's where the weight loss comes in. And it does create that calorie deficit in order for you to also start dropping the weight naturally like that as well, So, and it helps food noise, helps food cravings. It just makes everything silent in the background just to help quiet that.
Okay, so then my last question would be, what can I expect as far as any side effects?
Okay, so with the AOD, actually, trials have shown that it's really not a lot. Sometimes just some mild GI upset, and that actually kind of goes along with the retatrutide. So the retatrutide, too much too soon can cause a little bloating, because it is going to slow your gastric emptying. So if you try to eat too much too soon, it can cause a little bit of bloating and a little bit of reflux. And if you're not drinking enough fluid, some people complain a little bit of constipation. So, but for the most part, I have to say with the retatrutide, less side effects than Wegovy, Ozempic, Zepbound, or Mounjaro, whatever you want to call them, whatever those brand names are. The retatrutide, that is the name, the retatrutide. It's in a lot of clinical trials right now. It's like proving to excel over the other two, because what the retatrutide does with the glucagon, that triple agonist that we talked about, it preserves your muscle and doesn't use your muscle to burn. Where the other two, it's not muscle preserving, right? So a lot of people lose all this weight and then they want to know why, they kind of look like sometimes, they have the
Right.
extra skin, they're not maintaining their muscle. And that's why it's very important to, even while you're taking any of these peptides, you still need to, work out, you still want to eat right. And it's not just like a magic injection, which a lot of people think that they are, but a lot of them do work very well with a little bit of help. And that would be on your part by eating right, working out, and focusing more on strength training too.
Right. I'm already on that journey.
Protein. You want to make sure protein focus as well.
Okay.
But as far as the retatrutide side effects, so kind of similar to the AOD, but definitely very manageable. If you take your retatrutide, it's a once a week injection, okay? Whereas the AOD is going to be daily. Retatrutide is once a week in the morning. And I have found out that clients that were taking it in the evenings, they were the ones that were complaining most about the reflux, right? So that because it holds that food in your stomach longer. So if you're having that and then you're going to bed laying down, it makes sense, right? So it's just sometimes managing sometimes of when you take it, how to take it. And we definitely titrate low and slow, and we would build you up until you kind of what I call the sweet dose, where it starts working wonderfully for you.
Okay. I love it.
They are wonderful. Peptides, I've been passionate about peptides for probably a couple of years now. Only because I've always been about, let's get to the cellular level, right? Let's start making people feel great again at the cellular level. Instead of trying to treat a symptom, because when you try to treat a symptom with a pill, and then all of a sudden that you're getting a side effect from that pill. Now you need another pill to fix that side effect. I just feel like next thing you know, you're on 10 medications,
Right.
Whereas I feel so peptides can get you off these medications, okay? And you cycle these on and off. So sometimes after one cycle, and your body has the reminders, knows what it's doing, teaches your body to properly eat and work on yourself again. A lot of times one cycle is enough, Tangela. So, so that's where they vary as well.
Okay. I think I like it. I think I want to go forward. What's the next step?
So the next step is, so you filled out all your intake forms, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to send you a qualified link. It's a quick, like 5-minute phone call with a nurse practitioner. It just goes over your history, just make sure everything's safe and that you are a good client for these peptides. And then once you get approved by them, I will go ahead, I order up your peptides, and I follow it up with explicit instructions on how to dose, when to dose, and best times to take it. And I always add little helpful hints to get things working, smoother and faster for you. And I don't know how comfortable you are if you ever inject it.
Yeah, I'm comfortable.
Drawn up or inject it. You are comfortable?
Yeah, but if you can make sure that the needles are super duper skinny.
Oh, girl, these needles are so tiny.
Okay.
That's another thing I would like your viewers to know, Tangela. These needles are so small that they're just like a little bee sting. It really is painless. It really is. I even have clients that are definitely afraid of needles. I got them up and they're like, "Oh my God, you mean that didn't even hurt?"
Yeah.
I'm like, see. So it's easy. And I do offer for clients that aren't comfortable to come into my suite, and I teach them how to draw it up and how to self-inject as well. So we offer that. We also offer, when we send you the welcome packet, this has all this in there as well, how to draw up, how to inject. But of course, for anybody's comfort, you could come in and I could instruct you in person as well. Okay,
so that being said, I know that I'm comfortable, but just for the viewers who are actually going to hear and see this call, could you let them know about you and your practice and where you are, and for those who are near and far, how they can connect?
So I am a full-time nurse. I'm actually a GI nurse. I've been a nurse for 35 years. And during COVID, I kind of got a little bit, so I always felt like I have a higher purpose. And I just always felt like I see people walking the streets with a cane or a walker, and they're always aching and paining. And I'm like, there's got to be something better out there to fix these poor people, So I kind of got into the longevity and wellness side of things. And I started my practice as IV hydration. And I thought, let me start there. Pretty good IV stick. So, because I kept thinking, what am I good at? How can I give back? How can I give back? Well, I'm great at putting IVs in. I'll start there. So I started IV hydration. Well, that turned into kind of Botox, fillers, clear and brilliant laser I have now, skin pen, hydrofacial, all that great cosmetic stuff. That's wonderful too. But I still felt like there was still a stronger calling in me. So I started doing some deep diving research, cellular level healing, longevity, regenerative, and I stumbled across peptides. And I'm like, wow. I said, this is where I can give back. And I just really want to educate people that they don't have to be on pills for the rest of their life. There is other options out there to make people feel great again at the cellular level. And my motto has been, I just want to make you feel great again from the inside out. Because when you feel good from the inside, Tangela, it shows on the outside.
That's right.
It really does. And it always starts with your mindset. So you got to go into these things with the right mindset. Like, yes, this is going to work for me. I know it is. I know I'm going to feel great again, because our words and thoughts are so strong and really create such a strong energy.
Agreed.
That it really does help. So that's important too with wellness. I'm learning too is changing your mindset, knowing that you can feel better. There is something out there for you. And that's where I want to come in and educate you and show you that, yes, there are options for you to feel better again. They are out there. And I'm getting into IV ozone therapy too, and I'll teach you more about that as I'm learning as well. And that's taking some blood out of the patient and oxygenizing it with O3, and then putting it right back into your body. That's showing anybody that's been on chemo, that has neuropathy, anybody with like chronic infections like Lyme's disease, any mold toxicities, any autoimmune disorders like lupus and celiac disease. I'm telling you, there's so much stuff out there to help fix so many autoimmune disorders that most of the world is suffering from, and the weight loss, stubbornness that a lot of us menopausal women are suffering from. So Liquid Lounge is here to help bring awareness to the arena of regenerative and longevity and anti-aging.
Wow, this is incredible. And it couldn't have happened at a better time in my life to come across you guys. I'm looking forward to this journey. I'm looking forward to sharing my journey with, my people that follow me and that show me love or whatever, and just sharing you with them and letting them know how they can, partner with you so that they can start living their best lives. I'm 50 years old. I've been through a heck of a lot. I've had an incredible life. I've experienced many things that most people will never get to experience, and I'm grateful for that. But I've also experienced a lot of loss, and a lot of other things that many people don't know about that I'll be sharing more in the coming days. But the first thing that I wanted to start in rebuilding my energy and rebuilding my personal universe is getting back to center, getting back to me and making me happy.
I love that, Tangela. That's exactly how I feel. I love that.
Right on.
And then next time we can talk about that GHK-CU copper peptide, because, man, that's amazing too. So
yeah,
we can do this in interval steps and just, take on a peptide at a time.
Yes.
Because there's so much about that too. Besides skin and hair, that I'd like to get into with your viewers as well as we go along this journey with each other.
Sounds like a plan. We'll just make a series out of it.
I love that.
All right.
I would love that.
Okay.
And everything you said, Tangela, resonates with me as well. So I think this is going to be a great thing going as we move forward.
I do too. And I thank you so much. I look forward to next steps.
I do too, Tangela. You enjoy the rest of your weekend, okay?
You bet. You too. Talk to you soon.
All right, you got it. Take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye.